on the 3rd of June 1998, beautiful clear night, friend Gabrielle from Germany and myself took to the skies overhead nightly Adelaide in Lima Papa Kilo, Piper Arrow. We encountered 6 orange objects in the distance. After leaving Parafield, we tracked overhead Adelaide for photos down to Brighton and then up the coast and back to Parafield. First we saw the objects in the distance, and then eventually they became so close I had to fly through the middle of them. Overhead, a suburb of Adelaide called Semaphore, which is where this jetty is. But from there, we travelled back to Parafield Airport, where I landed and called the authorities. So I called the authorities on the phone, and they asked what happened. I told them that after travelling north along the coast at 2,000 feet, in the distance I saw lights in formation. I was in controlled airspace, so I called Adelaide Approach and told them that I could see some objects in the distance to the north at the same height and at 12 o'clock or directly in front. Adelaide Approach said that there was nothing on radar, and from there, as we travelled further north, the formation got closer and more visible. So I called again. Adelaide Approach, Lima Park Kilo, 2,000 feet. We've got objects or traffic, 12 o'clock, same height. Request instructions. The approach called back, Lima Park Kilo, Adelaide Approach, we have no traffic on the radar. So naturally, Gabrielle looked at me and I looked at her, and we're looking at this approaching traffic, and nobody seems to be seeing it. I call again to the tower, Lima Park Kilo, LA Approach, please confirm no traffic on the radar. They come back and they said to me, look, we'll just transfer over to the control tower and see what they see. So it went quiet for a bit. Got back to me, Lima Park Kilo, Adelaide Approach. Nothing seen from the tower, Adelaide Tower, which I was pretty much a beam at the time heading north. Okay, then we sort of got to the West Lakes area, and these orange objects were very close at this time and were horizontal in formation, 6 of them. I didn't bother calling the tower anymore. I just figured either I'm seeing things. Gabrielle asked me, what are they? I said, I don't know. And I went to put my landing light on, and I actually turned it off by mistake, because I thought maybe they'll be able to see me. So now I became invisible, except for the navigation lights on the wings. The strobe I turned off as well, by mistake. As I nearly approached the objects, they flared out into a circle, and I flew the aircraft through the centre of these objects until we cleared. Later, I found out that hundreds of people saw me fly through these 6 orange objects. People called police television stations, radio stations. And it became apparent that I had seen these objects and I did fly through them. Obviously, this event took on a lot of media, interviews, television, radio, and newspapers. Shortly after, I was approached by telephone by the actual air traffic controller. He introduced himself and we actually went to school together. And I didn't know that at the time, but he'd seen all the media and the press and the evidence and actually told me that they did see objects on the primary radar and they have been seeing them all week, but they considered them as weather returns, and basically they weren't weather returns because there was no weather, and I saw them, Gabrielle saw them, and so did people on the ground, and there were official reports written. So tomorrow night at roughly 9:30 is the anniversary of this event, 22 years since I flew through the 6 orange lights, which were quite large, very bright, and definitely something I've never seen before. After the event, I went on to fly commercially, ended up flying seaplanes around the world. I never flew at night again. On my own, I had to do a flight with an instructor to get my twin night rating, but I never flew at night again after that day. And Gabrielle's back in Germany. I haven't heard from her for years. So there you go. That's my close encounter on the 3rd of June, 1998. Thanks for listening.